Gentlemen, I am Billy Alexander. We are live once again right here on Heel Turn Wrestling's YouTube page. Welcome to the second episode of The Run-In. New show concept right here with myself, Billy Alexander. And just right up front, just as y'all know, my show, my thoughts, what I say, what I do, and how this program carries on shows no reflection or any thoughts or any opinions from anybody at Heel Turn Wrestling. So, let's get this started. Guys, I know this is a sour note to talk about, but it did come across some of the wires earlier today. There's a possible rumor that WrestleMania 38 could take place in Tampa to make up for this year's disaster. Now again, it's a rumor, guys. That's what those things are. People make things up out there. They post them all over the place. But this is coming from a credible source. But they're not really looking that far ahead. They're looking at what's going on in 2020 right now. And man, 2020's just been kicking everybody right in the dick. Or around here in my parts, I like to say, I'm going to kick you in a dink. And that's exactly what's happened here. 2020 has ruined not only a lot of people's lives, a lot of people's careers. The coronavirus epidemic has put such a huge problem out there and a huge halt on sports and entertainment, our daily lives. Now, we all know that WWE was deemed essential by Tampa, by Florida, by that area because of the sports entertainment and everything like it. I don't think that they should try to force their superstars to try to come and do a show. I don't think they should try to force their superstars to do something that they're against in any which way. You know, this is pertaining to their health of themselves, their family, and everybody involved. So the WWE gets deemed essential to carry on business because the Performance Center is in Tampa, Florida, and they got this big deal about sports and certain news broadcasts and everything. It's a lot of legal shit, is what it is, and it really sucks. But back to the rumor, just take out of the grain of salt, guys. When we have more up to real information on that deal, we'll let you know, or WWE themselves will let you know when it comes that time. But back to the whole point of being essential. A lot of live events is not only just causing chaos and a lot of other things. There's a lot of different variables here with WWE and AEW and some of the sporting events that have not only trickled into like Ticketmaster. See, a lot of people use Ticketmaster to get their tickets for live events, concerts, shows, plays, a lot of things that go on in the world. And when this all started to happen, everybody started postponing shows and canceling shows altogether, and everything all involved at one time. The thing about it was, Ticketmaster changed their refund policy in the middle of the fucking night, didn't bother to tell nobody. It just so happens somebody gets up the next day, files for a refund, and they give this bullshit spiel. Then everybody went in behind to read back on all the so-called policy that they had, and they changed it overnight. So basically, Ticketmaster is now stating that you will not receive refunds for anything that you bought tickets for through Ticketmaster on their website unless the show is straight up canceled by the person that's supposed to be holding that show. For example, if we were to hold a wrestling show and you were to buy all these tickets through Ticketmaster, if we had to cancel the show and put a stop to it all on us, then you would get refunded by Ticketmaster. But Ticketmaster changed their policy so quick in the middle of the night, it now states that all the places that have just put postponed on their event, those people are not getting discounts. Now, I'm sure there's some people getting discounts off of this deal that's caused an issue, and I'm sure that a lot of people are getting their refunds on it. But Ticketmaster changed their policy in the middle of the night for fans who had bought tickets to shows, events, and plays, and sporting events, and everything else. They changed that deal. Now, speaking of business deals, let's get into that. The business deal between Fox, WWE, and USA has a certain requirement on the contracts. Now, I know that Vince knows this, and I know Vince's lawyers know this, and Fox and USA's lawyers know this, and everybody. I get that. This is a whole different situation, guys. This wasn't like a storm came in and took half the building out. You had to cancel and postpone a show just to refix your building to put the show back on in a month or two. This is a big contract deal. These guys signed a huge multi-million dollar deal with Fox, with USA, and all this other stuff for Raw and SmackDown. They are required to hold a certain number of live events on both channels per the contract that Vince McMahon and WWE and all those guys in the office that night signed. They're only allowed, now I'm not 100% sure on this, I'm going by what I was given, and I trust it. They're only allowed to have 3 tape shows per year. That's 3 tape shows per year. That's really hard to do in a 12-month span because you never know what's going to happen. You never know when you have to have a tape show. COVID-19 has ruined everything all around. They have to tape shows left and right for people in and out. Is this something that maybe Fox and USA and the WWE and all those big-time lawyers will go over and figure something out on this deal? Who knows, man? But that's a big contract right there. They could have some major issues down the line because of not having any live events. They're not being able to fulfill their contract properly. That's a breach of contract. But being it's a pandemic, an epidemic, it's a global deal, I wouldn't think that they would look so into it and be like, you know what, we're going to screw you like you screwed us and lost all this money. I don't think that'll happen. I think, cooler heads prevail on that. Ronda Rousey, man, I'll tell you what, Ronda Rousey should have stayed in MMA. She should have never came to the WWE. She should have never crossed over to the wrestling, period. And all she was trying to do was re-spark the old-time rockin' wrestling when Cyndi Lauper did it with Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, and those guys. She's doing the same thing in the WWE now when she came in with the Triple H and Stephanie and The Rock and all that shit, trying to bring back that rockin' wrestling type of atmosphere again. Now, yeah, Ronda Rousey got in there and they made lots of money. She made lots of money. A lot of things happened. But Ronda Rousey decided that after she was dropping her title, she wanted to go home and start a family, which she did. Congratulations or whatever's going on there. But she's also come out and stated that if she ever came back, it would not be for a full-time gig. It'd be a part-time gig. And she says that she loves the fact that she was paid to fake fight. Now, that didn't sit well with a lot of WWE superstars. Hell, that didn't sit well with a lot of wrestling people, period. From companies to individual wrestlers to all the way down to the lower independent sections. When there's a fine line that you cross, regardless if you're in the business or not in the business. You don't go up to wrestlers or companies and be like, this is fake, blah, blah, blah. No, see, everything that these guys and girls do may be choreographed. There may be predetermined winners in events and stuff like that. But what they do inside that ring is 100% real. And if you don't understand what I'm trying to say, you hit yourself in the face with a tack hammer a few times, maybe it'll knock something loose on the opposite side and you'll get it. Jim Cornette stated at one time he had somebody come up to him and said, this is fake. I don't know why you guys do it. It's bullshit, yada, yada, yada. And he looked right at this person. He told him, he says, they may do choreographed stuff inside the ring, outside the ring, whatever. They may have predetermined winners. They may have predetermined this. But what they do inside and outside of that ring and everywhere else around it is 100% real. And we've seen that over the years. So for Ronda Rousey, the big-time, huge superstar that was over the last 2 to 3, 5 years, come out and called wrestling fake, stated she loved being paid to fake fight. Didn't sit well. A lot of people are ready to knock her head off and everything else. Cody Rhodes says that it was TNT's idea to create another championship. So they made up this deal, and they got the thing called the TNT Championship. I think it's a backdoor way in for Cody Rhodes to hold an actual title in AEW, thus leading down the road in the next few years between MJF and Cody Rhodes. Have a feud in some way where Cody does get his hands on the real AEW world title. Speaking of Cody Rhodes, one more thing. Cody Rhodes had an interview recently, and I need a drink. Cody Rhodes did an interview recently, and he put over Cesaro from WWE. He says Cesaro is the most underrated wrestler today in WWE, and went as far as calling him and comparing him to a modern-day PWG Nikita Koloff. Now, that's a pretty big pat on the back. Nobody really knows Cesaro's contract status at this moment in time, but could that be a small opening door later down the line? The XFL tarnished Vince McMahon's image to the point where not only is everything bankrupt, not only did we lose another XFL deal, not only did they lose a whole nother deal for next year because they've already said they're not coming back, everything is gone. Vince McMahon owes a lot of people money. I mean, there's all the people involved who he worked with on this deal. There's all the coaches, there's the arenas, and the biggest ones are the stadiums. He's already put in so much money, but now he went bankrupt. He didn't have to put no more in. A lot of people are getting fucked here, Vince. Oh, my God. And let's see. What was my last deal I had here real quick? I believe that was it, guys. That was pretty quick. That's it. That's called the run-in right here. Heel Turn Wrestling, guys. Billy Alexander. Make sure to check out Heel Turn Wrestling on Facebook. Make sure to check out HeelTurnWrestling.com. Make sure to check out the Franchise Takes 5 on Heel Turn Wrestling over on Facebook. Guys, I gotta hit the music. I gotta go. The run-in. I gotta run. That's how it goes. We're out of here.
Sound.com